Hey there, it's Miss E. I am coming to you today to help give you some insight and information in reference to my experience at Richmond Mall with my Glory Loaves. As some of you may or may not know, starting November of 2019 until February 29, 2020, I had the pleasure of being able to have a kiosk at Richmond Mall here in Richmond Heights, Ohio, which is a suburb of Cleveland, Ohio. And in doing so, I wanted to share the experience with you via video to help some understand why I did it and what happened in the process, what I learned, what I liked about it, and what I may intend to do going forward. Now, just so that you know, it was a short term lease to begin with. So it was only supposed to be for 4 months. I did have the option to extend at the end of it, but I ended up opting out, which now turns out to be a good thing, considering that they end up closing the malls due to this current social distancing climate that we're in right now. So, but at the time, my rationale was for me to make the changes because a vending season starting, and I wanted to be able to promote my new book, Are You Sure That You're Ready? A Guide for Vendors. Okay, to help my fellow vendors. In order for me to do vending events, I had to be out at the events to promote to my other fellow vendors. Can't do that if you are at one location and you can't be at the others where your target audience is. That's the whole part of being an entrepreneur, is to know where your target audience is and work to be there with them, to promote to them, to sell to them as such. So, just to share a couple of things with you, what I learned. Um, what I learned was when you are a kiosk or cart that happens to be more exposed versus an anchor store, which are the malls along the walls, the stores that are along the walls of the mall, is that when you're out like that, people look at you as the directory. So they come asking you questions about what's going on, where's this, where's that type of thing. Now, the good thing about this is that it allows people to come and interact with you. And through that interaction, they'll ask you, "Oh, well, what is it that you do here?" Which then gives you an opportunity to tell them about your product and what you're doing. Great. Then Uh, so then that helps with sales too, because they said, oh, because if you provide them with good information, here's the thing I have found: being helpful, giving a nice smile as people walk past, ask for directions or whatever, goes a whole long way. I've had a lot of people who came and ended up purchasing products as a result of me just being nice and offering them good information or just saying hello with a smile. That's one of the pointers that I note in my book, is for people to give smiles and acknowledgments and salutations as people walk past, because you just never know. I did like the mall atmosphere because you got a lot of different people that are coming through on a day in and day out basis, some regularly, some occasionally, depending on what they're coming in from the store. You have the people who work there. So everyone ends up communicating and connecting, speaking, it's just familiar faces that you get to see on a day in, day out basis. Kind of like an office, but bigger, and everybody has their own job and business of some sort, whether they're employee or the owner. And it builds rapport. So that helps. And then they become good customers, and then they help spread the word. Makes it a win-win. And then one of the other things I learned too, in order for me to do it on a regular ongoing basis, it's best that I have assistants, meaning someone to man the station while I go and take care of other duties and such necessary, including the baking. So unless I could do it on site, it's best that I'm being able to be flexible and have other people helping me do different things. So having someone to help is essential for running locations. And I'm glad that I had the opportunity to run it even on the days that I did, because I only did 3 days, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. but it was still an all-day thing. So it did change the whole structure of how I did my life to a degree. And I was limited in what I could do because I either had to bake to prepare or bake orders to ship out and everything. Not complaining is just what it was. So that comes with the business. So it was something, but I needed to have that experience to know what it felt like. Why I did it, it was something new, and it was a different option as opposed to having a brick and mortar of my own, having to deal with overhead and everything else. So this was a nice, quick intro into doing it. But the thing of it is, please know and understand, I did get confirmation from God before I did it. It was God connected because the person who introduced me to the whole opportunity actually is Sharmir, who is Mr. Officials, who does, if you haven't seen it, a lot of my customized apparel that I had done, especially while I was there. And the best part about it was his store, which was one of the anchor stores, was literally, I was right outside of his store. So I could literally just walk on over, get what I needed, and come on back if that's what was going on. I did like and enjoy the regular interaction. And like I said, I developed connections with other businesses and people, employees all the way around. So it was great. And the great thing I did appreciate about it was that though it was for a limited time, it still was for a limited time. I wasn't into a long-term contract. It was to see how I would do during the holidays, what I would do. So it did provide me with extra income during that season, which was great. And then it showed me what I was capable of doing. I looked at it as an ongoing vending experience like I would any other vending event, just that I had a set location on a regular basis that people could come and find me to purchase in person, especially if they didn't want to put in a full order, but more so ones and twos type of thing. But if they wanted to put it in an order, then they had a location to come pick it up. So that was great. The other part about it, outside of the mall, I had other ways to sell my product online, through my website, through social media. People would call me, pick up orders. I would deliver orders. I have several locations around the city that have my Loaves. They all have different kinds. So you can get a little quick taste of it. If you want to put in an order, you always can, 24 hours, because you can order anytime. Now, for me to bake and ship the orders, I usually allow 48 to 72 hours turnaround time for me to bake, because I try to do first in and first out type of processing. And then because I'm mobile and I bake from home, that gives me a lot more flexibility than, say, if I were at a store or a mall, where I would have, in the current situation, may be forced to shut down because of different rules and regulations that are in place. Thankfully, because my home is certified to run my business out of for the bakery portion of it, kitchen certified by the state of Ohio, so I'm approved to do what I do legally across the board, have been for years. That's wonderful for me, and it allows me to be able to provide for my customers like yourself, and to be able to process and get everything going. So as long as the post office is open and the grocery stores are open where I purchase my products from in order to make the bread for you, and then everybody can still keep moving. So just know, Miss E's Glory Loaves is open. I'm baking, I'm shipping, I'm delivering. You can pick up orders if that's what you need to do. We can meet at a location around Northeast Ohio with no problem. We make it all work. So I felt like I wanted to share to encourage somebody if that's what you were looking to do. But I say seek confirmation, write out all of your possibilities, and just make sure that you seek a necessary counsel to make sure you're doing what you need to do and doing it the right way. Okay? Hope this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. I am open to answer. Miss E, until next time, thank you.